Hi, you're on Retelling Films channel, and this is a retelling of the movie Teddy Bear. A huge bodybuilder goes to Thailand to find the girl of his dreams despite the inhibitions of his mother, who manipulates him. The movie begins with the main character, huge bodybuilder Dennis, looking in the mirror. After leaving the restaurant restroom, he returns to the table where a girl is waiting for him. She wonders why he doesn't eat shrimp salad and learns that the main character is allergic to shrimp. Confused, the man can't explain why he ordered them. From the conversation, it becomes clear that the girl owns a beauty salon, and the man is a professional bodybuilder competing in muscle relief competitions. But since there is no money to be made in competitions, Dennis works part-time as a security guard in a pub. After this confession, the girl's interest in him falls sharply. She accuses the interlocutor that he shamelessly stares at her breasts, although the protagonist considers the pendant. Later, sitting in the car, Dennis shakes his head disappointedly. The date ended in nothing. He returns home, walking carefully in the dark so as not to wake his mom. But she's awake. Sitting in the kitchen, waiting for her son to return, the woman arranges an interrogation, to which the son lies that he went to the movies with a friend. Dennis goes to bed, but the mother urgently needs to vent passive aggression under the guise of caring. Nevertheless, he manages to negate the scandal. In the morning, while he is washing in the shower, his mother does not hesitate to go into the bathroom and sit on the toilet, clearly demonstrating her attitude to his opinion and personal life. Having had breakfast in a special nutritious mixture, the man is going to meet his relatives. Already sitting in the car, the mother wonders if the door is closed. Under her pressure, the man goes back to check. A family dinner is dedicated to the introduction of the family to the wife of Uncle Dennis, who brought her from Thailand. The protagonist watches the couple with a slight smile and good-natured envy, while the mother looks on unhappily. She doesn't like the couple or the reaction of her son, who helps fulfill the old tradition of cutting the sock of Dennis's recently married uncle. In the evening, while brushing his teeth, Mother doesn't forget to hint to Dennis that her brother's happy appearance is only temporary. At the gym, the main character does exercises, but while the blood flows through his veins, carrying nutrients to his tense arms, black thoughts swarm in his head, and they are aggravated by a passing girl from a recent date. She doesn't even respond to Dennis's greeting. The protagonist visits his uncle to help clean up the weeds. Later, the relative pays him back for the favor he did. He has collected tourist brochures about Thailand. Dennis is going to go there, so he prepares himself. At home, he looks for information about hotels where he can stay. Having made up his mind, the guy approaches the girl who blew him off at the gym to tell her that she is not his type. She naturally takes his words with relief. An enthusiastic Dennis stands with a co-worker in front of the mirror practicing poses. At home, he informs his mother that he's going to Germany for a competition. She does not like this turn of events and defiantly refuses to finish her dinner. In the morning, when the son has made breakfast, the mother does not even want to leave the bedroom. However, Dennis's determination to leave is not affected by her behavior. After packing his things, he goes in to say goodbye, but she lies wrapped in a blanket and does not want to come out. Putting on a jacket, the protagonist leaves his home, heading out for adventure. Soon, he's rolling around Thailand in a cab. Southeast Asia, after the harsh Scandinavian climate of his native Denmark, seems a real magic, not to mention the liberated local girls. Already at the check-in at the hotel, the manager asks if he will bring someone to the room, because then you need to pay extra. But Dennis refuses just in case, because he has to find a girlfriend first, even if there are carefully provided contraceptives on the table in the room. Having settled in, the protagonist looks from the balcony at the exotic country spreading below, full of prospects and opportunities for a tourist. Then, he goes to a local diner to visit a guy named Scott, to whom his uncle sent him. It was Scott who introduced his uncle to his new spouse, and now he can help Dennis as well. Having clarified his preferences, the shopkeeper tells him to come back in the evening. He will pick up a girl for him. On the way home, the cab driver suggests to stop at the tailor's. There, the huge tourist is measured from all sides to prepare a jacket for the evening. The clever tailor immediately offers to buy two at once at a discount, and when Dennis refuses, overcharges him by 1,000 baht, ripping off the tourist out of habit. From the hotel, the guy calls home to let his mother know he made it, but she doesn't pick up the phone, so he has to leave a message on the answering machine. Having received the jacket, Dennis washes himself and tries on the renewal in front of the mirror. Putting it on over his shorts, he sets off, refusing on the way stylish girls who do not mind making money from tourists. At the eatery, he is greeted by the owner and his guests. Dennis notices that the place is full of foreigners who are being groomed by local girls. Soon, one of them comes to him. The girl confidently and professionally takes matters into her own hands, talking, not shy of the protagonist, and admiring his well-developed musculature. The girl asks to show her muscles, which finally embarrasses the guy, forcing him to retreat to the toilet. Even there, however, the girl's liberation does not leave Dennis. She follows to examine him and help wipe his intimate parts with a paper towel, embarrassing him even more. Nevertheless, the two of them make their way back to the hotel, where the cheerful manager greets the guest, reminding him of the extra charge. In the room itself, the protagonist nervously walks around the room while his guest showers. Coming out in one towel, the girl voices the rates, which surprises the big, simple-minded do-gooder. Nevertheless, he agrees to pay, but when the girl is ready to get down to business, Dennis suggests talking to get better acquainted. As a result, timidity takes its toll, and he persistently asks the girl to leave without proceeding to intimacy. When the disappointed guest changed her clothes, the frustrated client paid and remained sitting alone, calling his mother and listening to the satisfied moans of other, more cooperative hotel guests. In the morning, he visits a gym where the less muscular locals are working out. He asks one of the athletes to show him where the weight plates are for the barbell. While Dennis puts them on the barbell, the Taejok recognizes him and shows him an album with newspaper clippings on a stand with trophies, where among others there is the main character himself. The fan introduces the guest to the owner of the club, a girl named Toy. After that, the athletes together back each other up during exercises. Along the way, Dennis teaches the guy some bodybuilding tricks that are important in competition. After the exercises, the new buddy invites the protagonist to have dinner with his friends, but he has his own plans. He returns to Scott's diner, where he meets a new girl, and everything happens in a circle, as in Groundhog Day. Same questions, same answers. The evening is brightened up by the performance of a local singer, to the beat of whose singing the guests sway their hands. After looking around, Dennis leaves under a plausible pretext. On the way, he is flanked by other girls who want to earn money, but he wants to be alone. However, after sitting on a bench, he goes to a restaurant at the address given by a friend from the gym. Dennis is more comfortable among athletes who share his hobbies. Even the presence of Toy, the gym owner, does not embarrass him. When she asks where he comes from, the protagonist explains in detail, without giving off-duty answers. He himself learns that the gym belonged to Toy's husband until she was widowed a few years ago. Dennis tells she that he himself was not married, as he has not yet found his one and only, to which Toy encourages him that everything is still ahead of him. After dinner, the athletes leave on their mopeds, leaving Toy and Dennis alone. The two of them return by public transportation, and on the way the woman asks him if he can ride a moped. The next morning, the two of them go for a ride and admire Thailand's sights and local cuisine, not forgetting to stop by a temple and bring an offering. The motorcycle ride ends at the beach, where Dennis admires Toy coming out of the water in a wet, naked t-shirt. When she offers to have a picnic here, the protagonist reaches out to kiss her, but the girl frightenedly pulls away. Frustrated, he leaves, but cannot start the moped. In the parking lot, the returning Toy offers to leave the moped until tomorrow and return on her bike. They do so, rolling through the evening city as a couple. When Toy says goodbye near the hotel, she tells him that in Thailand, it is not customary to kiss on the street, and then calls him to her house for dinner. When they get there, instead of eating, they start kissing without being embarrassed. But even so, Dennis is still embarrassed, and the girl has to show persistence. At the last moment, the nerves of the protagonist cannot stand, and he, apologizing, leaves. Outside, he freezes in thought in the middle of the night street, then returns and knocks on the door. In awkward silence, the two of them sit together on the bed until Dennis admits that he likes the landlady very much and asks permission to stay the night. Despite agreeing, they sleep in their arms and clothes until morning. In the next scene, Dennis rolls in a cab through the streets of his hometown. He and his suitcase walk into his home, where he catches his mother. They drink tea while she asks how the competition went. The son lies that he took 6th place, which explains the lack of trophies, but not the satisfied smile. Also, from the attentive gaze of the mother does not escape the fresh tan, which is written off on the tanning bed. However, in addition to the tan and jacket, Dennis brought back a picture of Toy from the trip. Soon, the protagonist is looking for an apartment with a realtor. In the evening, unable to sleep from overflowing thoughts, he goes to his mother to talk, because the matter is urgent. With a heavy heart, Dennis admits that instead of Germany, he flew to Thailand. Encouraged by his uncle's example, and hoping to find a girl there, he tells her that he has met Toy. But his mother, offended in the best feelings, tells him get out. In the morning, he goes down to the kitchen and sees his mother sitting at the table. They have a difficult conversation. The woman asks about the competitor, swayed to her favourite son, but Dennis is not too ready to spread about his personal life. Then the accusations come into play. If he lies to his mother, he probably doesn't love her anymore. Not forgetting to mention the disgustingness of the very phenomenon of sex tourism. His mother says that she does not approve of his relationship and demands to break it off immediately. Accustomed to resisting physical but not psychological pressure, Dennis promises to do so, but later meets Toy at the airport with a joyful smile and a bouquet of flowers. He takes her to the apartment, which he specially bought and furnished secretly from her mother to avoid having to introduce the girlfriend to her. At the same time, the man gives Toy a pendant. Before telling the bad news, he says that his mother's heart is failing, so he must look after her while Toy settles into her new apartment. Of course, the girl's such a series of events is not very much to her liking, but she perfectly does not give the appearance. But even this, it turns out, is a lie. The mother is fine. Dennis returns to her in the evening. The next day, Dennis with Toy is wandering around the mall when he notices his mother walking nearby. He swiftly turns to the nearest boutique to avoid exposure, but the ruse doesn't work. The mother sees her son in a lingerie store, and Toy notices that someone is talking to her boyfriend. In the situation, it is possible to confess everything, but Dennis valiantly lies to the end, passing off his girlfriend as the sister of his wife, his uncle. But even without his involvement, the conversation rolls smoothly to the reveal. Toy wonders about the health of the potential mother-in-law. Dennis thinks of nothing better than to leave with Toy in a hurry under the angry screams of his mother. Sitting in the car, the protagonist is in deep thought. He drops the girl off and then goes home to clarify the relationship. The mother sights in the kitchen, clutching a bloody towel. She hurt herself while smashing her son's room and the stand with his awards. Seeing this barbarism, the protagonist sits on the bed without strength. A single, stingy tear rolls down his stern face. Sitting at the table, when asked by his mother about Toy, he finally decides to answer it's none of your business. She accuses him, comparing him to her father. Dennis warns that the girl stays in the country and he himself moves out. Then from pressure, the woman turns to manipulation through pity and starts crying. After carefully bandaging his mother's cuts, the man gathers his trophies in a box. Looking around the room that was almost a solitary confinement for him in the psychological prison, Dennis loads his things into the trunk, Toy waiting for him in the car. Having hugged his mother goodbye, the man ignores her request to stay with her and goes away to his new, happier life. Loaded with belongings, the car pulls away and takes Dennis and Toy to their own apartment. The camera rises over the road, leaving the characters alone with their happiness, and that's where movie ends. What do you think about this movie? Write your thoughts about the movie in the comments. If you liked my short retelling, then put likes and subscribe to not miss new videos. See you soon.